welcome to episode 210 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
It's good to be here.
And Matt Bowden.
Thank you for having me. You
Thanks
fucked that up. I'd like to point it out.
Who?
You did. You didn't say, I'm your host, Ryan Walton. You just said, I'm Ryan Walton. Normally
I think they know.
Normally you say, as always, I'm your host, Ryan Walton. No, you say, I'm your host, Ryan Walton, and as always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer and Matt Bowden.
There's nothing wrong with... You don't have to be familiar all the time. It's fine.
Doesn't always have to be missionary.
It's just
right.
209 episodes the same way and 210 not the same way anymore.
Sometimes you just want to come in from behind.
Yeah, obviously 210 is a milestone, and it's nice to switch things up on important events.
What's the occasion?
It's our 210th anniversary of doing the show.
I
think they call it the Diamond Anniversary.
Is that what it's called?
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think for sure it is. The other thing I did during the intro is I forced Dan to speak.
Yeah.
You did.
I wasn't moving on. We'll sit here all day.
You just stopped.
Yeah. I think that's where I was at. We would have sat here for hours in silence if you didn't go.
Yeah. That would have been our little pet project, podcast we're trying.
Yeah, Project Silence.
The Sounds of Silence.
Yeah, Project Silence. Post every Tuesday as an MP3. Or you can get the video version Wednesday.
What's on the video? Just us eating ham sandwiches.
With no sound.
In silence. Yeah.
Everything just... Yeah.
You just hear a plate scuff every once in a while.
Yeah, you can hear like ambient noises, but there is no speaking.
but no speaking, all ambient noises?
Yeah.
That'd be weird. I would do that.
Project Silence sounds like something I kind of want to do.
It's very similar to something we've already talked about.
It's not just eating, though. It would be all activities. It's just you doing things, but no talking.
Yeah.
Like brushing your teeth, eating some chips, watching a show, washing your dog.
Yeah.
Jerking off.
Silence.
Nah.
All you hear is... That's all you hear.
Maybe for you. For me, it's just this.
What? Yep. How does it not make any noise? You're doing it wrong.
Stealth.
I definitely don't do it that fast. It's not
don't pull me that bullshit.
Under the radar.
I do towards the end.
Well, this is a very revealing podcast.
No.
It's already gone places I wish it hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you shouldn't have started with Project Silence.
Yeah.
Well, it had nothing to do with that, though.
You can't pitch a new idea and not expect people to walk through that door and take it where they're going to take it.
Right. Throw ideas on the wall, see what sticks, right?
Speaking of taking it where you take it, I completed year 1 of Stardew Valley, and I'm very proud of myself.
You did?
Yeah. It felt good. Because winter was so long and cold, frigid even. You can't grow crops, really. Yeah.
Do you know what to do for next winter now? Do you have a better idea?
I mean, I feel like I handled this winter very well, but it's just long because you're not farming. I did set up my farm. I'm running a sprinkler system this year, so I don't have to water anything.
Because the rain won't do it for you.
It doesn't rain every day.
All right.
It's true.
I mean, it would do it if it rained every day, but I don't think you understand how precipitation works.
Precipitation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you can say it,
so. I nailed it that last time. Precipitation.
Precipitation.
I
think it's precipitation.
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 Let me ask you this. Can you set up a hydroponic farm so that you don't have to run a sprinkler system at all? You can just build it in a pond.
You can't, but the building a sprinkler system is literally just slapping it down. You don't connect them. They're all independent.
What?
Yeah, you just put a sprinkler down.
That's weird.
It waters all the adjacent squares.
Mm-hmm.
It's a video game. I can see how that would...
Yeah, I'm using a quality sprinkler, not just a regular one.
Minecraft is a video game, and you can set up a hydroponic farm in that.
Okay. Well, this is Stardew Valley.
It is Stardew Valley.
Maybe they'll put it in there for you for an update so you don't have to live like a savage anymore.
Speaking of updates for Stardew Valley, they've announced that it's going to release on Switch. This is originally they was going to come out on Wii U, but obviously there's no point in that. So he did say that it's going to be it is going to be a Switch title, but it will not come out at launch. So we're going to have a little delay there. And he is currently, I know it's a few people now, but they are currently looking at porting it to the Vita also. Be a great game on Vita.
I might be interested in it at some point, but I don't know.
You should get it. They're also it's a long ways out, but they are still developing co-op.
I will never be interested.
That's where I'm into it.
So
as
you
soon
guys
as
know.
co-op's there, I'm in.
So we can co-farm.
Yeah.
It still does nothing for me.
We can cohabitate. Yeah. Like live together, but nothing weird.
Well, yeah. Same
Yo.
bed, but no touching.
Pillow mostly between us.
Mostly. Sometimes you just stuff the blanket down there, but you touch through the blanket.
Sometimes you do. I don't do that.
I don't even know what the hell's happening right now. So
We're talking about Stardew Valley, clearly.
You guys can all sleep in your own beds or together, whatever, with blankets and pillows, all you want to.
You can marry anyone that's single in Stardew Valley.
Okay, that's good.
It doesn't sound like what you want out of life.
You should be allowed to marry whoever you want to.
Doesn't sound like that's what you're after.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm married to somebody. I don't need to be married to anybody else. One's enough.
Wow,
She listens
one
to this
too
podcast?
much.
Is that what's happening?
What?
She listens to this podcast? Is that what's happening right now?
No.
You want to tell her how much
Listen
you
to
just love her too and appreciate her and everything she does?
Well, she already knows that.
Okay. She listens, huh?
No.
You're being awfully nice this morning.
It's a little
This isn't,
suspect.
this isn't normally how you sound about it.
Dan, is she just off camera?
No.
Is she in the
Is
room
she
with you?
standing there?
No, she
Why did you
is
blink twice when you
downstairs
said no?
sitting. What? I did not blink. Oh, whatever. Yeah, she's right here in the room with me. She's got a gun to my head, making sure I say nice things.
Hold up a newspaper with today's date on it.
I don't have a newspaper. Who the fuck has a newspaper anymore? Not this guy.
Kidnappers.
Well, kidnappers.
They always pick one up.
They have to, though.
How else
That's
do you know it's now?
Right, it's integral to their plan.
Right. Yeah. You have to be able to date something. I have them hold up a calendar pointing to the day that it is. That's what I do. Why would they lie?
Why would they make it up, right?
Right. They want to be saved, rescued. They want to make it through this thing.
You know what, though? You don't tell them what day it is. You make them guess.
They're like, it looks like he was abducted 3 days from now.
Right.
He's been in a trunk for too long. He doesn't know.
Be a great... I would watch that movie just to see how... A comedy about kidnapping.
Did you see Taken's going to be a TV show?
Yeah, I think that's dumb.
Yeah, I can't wait to not watch that. Matt,
Not
your
for
thoughts
me.
on Taken the TV show?
Not a big fan of the movies, so it's all right. I'm just full disclosure for the people listening. I have a sore throat today because we went to professional wrestling last night and I yelled a little bit too much. So-
Or, a.k.a. Matt's a pussy.
Yeah, well, my throat is for sure.
You got to work that throat out a little more.
I got that.
What?
It's my new.
Did you just say, Matt?
It's my new gamer tag is pussy throat.
No.
It hurts so bad this morning. I woke up in the middle of the night last night. Ricky woke up this morning and called me a pussy because I woke up like complaining about it in the middle of the night and had to get up and drink some tea and honey. It hurt very badly. It still does. It hurts to speak. I wasn't sure last night when we left the show that I was going to be able to do the podcast this morning. It hurt so bad. That's how much I love pro wrestling.
You sound a little more manly, though, today.
Yeah.
A little more
when
grit in
my
your voice. Pissy grits.
I get a little bit of gravel
if you-
and I get a little bit of depth when I get a sore throat.
Even if you do have a throat like a pussy, or whatever you said.
Pussy throat, Dan. Get it right. God damn
Yeah.
it.
But sorry, I was way off.
Yeah.
Also, I'm interested in doing any other podcast if anybody out there is available. Where there's no pussy throat talk.
What if it's the
You
Pussy
guys
Throat
could-
podcast?
Yeah, you guys could branch out and just do that show.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
It sounds
I don't
fun.
want to be a part of that show either.
Yeah.
You
also
call
still,
it like PT just so that the kids can still listen.
Not
yeah.
to be confused with the Hideo Kojima joint.
What,
part-time.
Hideo who?
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo?
Hideo.
Now that we've offended our entire audience.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima joint.
Yeah, I wish he called it a joint Seva production. A Hideo Kojima joint. It's a little more edgy.
I wish he said his name that way.
It does have that.
He does. Every time he talks
does
on the
now.
phone, he's like, "This is Hideo Kojima,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Ha, Hideo."
Kojima-san.
And he says, "What do you think I should do for our next game?" And I said, "I don't know. Just make sure it doesn't make any sense." And he's like, "Done."
This is one step ahead of you on that one.
Yeah.
It's like, I got that covered.
Yeah. I'm gonna put Del Toro in the reveal trailer, but he's not gonna be in the game. And I'm like, "Sounds perfect.
That's what people
Sounds
want.
great. Please waste assets and time on that."
Right.
He
There's
knows
going to be whales and babies.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
And baby whales
Yeah.
and your boy Norman.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like. Not that I... Alright, so it's not that I dislike Norman Reedus. It's I dislike the... Like, force-feeding of Norman. Like, he doesn't have to be in everything. And... It's...
He's in The Walking Dead and Hideo Kojima joint.
Yeah, but it just seems like...
That's not everything.
It seems like the
He
Daryl
was an
Dixon...
heir too.
Yeah, it seems
He's
like...
what?
He was an heir.
Air. It seems like the character of Daryl Dixon is not is what people like, and it's not necessarily Norman Reedus. And I'm more interested if it's Norman Reedus for the sake of Norman Reedus, not for the sake of Daryl Dixon. Does that make sense?
Well, I think it might be because it's the first time he's not just overly dirty.
Right. No, he wasn't dirty in Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
That was before Walking Dead, though.
Yeah, but Boondock
Right.
Saints was insanely popular. So
Yeah, but he's been dirty ever since he's been Daryl. Everything he's in, he's dirty all the time.
right, it's like he found the character Daryl Dixon, and now that's who he is, and I don't like that.
He's grungy, but he doesn't look grungy in this. He does still need to cut his hair, though.
I don't.
But he's growing it out because that's
I'm on a haircut.
in that world you live in.
A nice flat top, though. High and tight. Something cleaned up.
No.
I mean,
That's what I'd like to see him with. Switch it up, Daryl.
that's not his name.
Shave it.
Call him
Shave
by
it
his
off.
Christian
Daryl
name.
Dixon,
It's
that's
Norm.
his name.
Norm.
He had
Norman,
it changed.
Norm Reedus, Norm Chow.
He had it changed to Daryl Dixon.
Yeah.
He bought DirtyDarylDixon.com.
Daryl Dixon did make Norman Reedus insanely popular,
Yeah.
but he has done a lot of. He was a model. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Does he look like someone who would be a model?
Well, it probably wasn't dirty back then.
Well, of course, Ashton Kutcher doesn't look like he would be a model either, and he was a model.
I'll disagree. He looks exactly
Yeah,
like
I disagree
a model.
with that one too. Let's
Yeah.
pick a different one.
All right, next you're going to tell
Oh,
me...
you think he looks like a model?
Next you're going
Yeah.
to tell me Ryan Felipe doesn't look like a freaking model either.
I don't.
It's Philippe.
No, it's
First
Felipe.
Ryan Phillippe.
Felipe.
Ryan Gosling, an ugly guy too, Dan?
Yeah, dude, tell me about how Ryan Gosling should be a model.
Yeah. Tell me how people don't find him attractive. Tom Brady's really ugly too. You want to talk about him again? We can do it again this week. You picked a super attractive guy for your analogy.
I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm saying to me he doesn't look like he would be a model.
Why?
Yeah, just I don't. He doesn't seem to
His
have
build,
that
pretty
look.
face. What's the
Like Tom
problem?
Brady looks like he would probably be a model. He's just got that face, that look.
I don't think you've ever seen
don't-
Ashton Kutcher.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, you're right. I've never seen Ashton Kutcher.
Well, now that we got that out of the way,
Yeah.
I'll send you over a picture shirtless that I keep of him.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
I
can-
don't. It's fine.
Then tell me he's not a model.
Can
Keep
I...
that for yourself. I don't want to take away from your fun time.
Just to get away from this so that we don't lose more listeners, can I tell you guys about a great little game that I picked up this week for $5 called The Order 1886?
Why do you need to tell me about it?
It's
We told you about it.
Yeah, it's an
For
amazing
2 years
game.
now.
And
I would like people to go back like 100 episodes
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we're trying so hard to get Matt to
to get
play
Matt
it.
to play it.
So far, this game is 100% worth $60 to me. and I'm very sad that I missed it. It has all of these qualities in a game that I like. It's beautiful, it's cinematic, it's very Metal Gear. Like, there's a cool story, there's a lot of nods to plot twists that are coming. There's not a lot of focus on upgrade and RPG like elements. It's just a story being told, and there's a world to explore, and there's a created world, and they did a very good job of creating a world and telling me their story and not putting me in a world and say create my own story. It's everything that I like about a video game. I'm very sad that I did not play this when it first came out. And if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't played it, there is a $5 flash sale on the PlayStation Network right now up until the 23rd, which will be the day that you hear this podcast. So if you have not made a purchase, make your purchases before the end of today, because it's a great deal. Also got Peggle 2 in that deal, which is some of the most fun me and Ricky have ever had playing a video game. And also got Cat Lateral Damage, which is really fun. I have a new understanding for why my cat's a dickhole. And then I picked up Hatoful Boyfriend this week, which is, if anybody's ever wanted to play that, because it's been like $10 or $20 for quite some time, Hatoful Boyfriend is not worth any money. I paid $2.99 for the collector's edition, and then another $1.99 for the expansion. You don't do anything in that game. You just click a button and read. That's all it is. You just read this really weird Japanese story about pigeon boys, which pretty fun, but not worth any money.
Sounds right up your alley, Matt.
Yeah, not worth any money. I just wanted to play it because I've always seen it and thought it looked great. I got something else in that too, but I can't remember.
Like a virtual novel, then.
Yeah, it's exactly that, but it's got that weird Japanese flavor to it. Because you are a girl. Like, when you start, it doesn't tell you that, but you put in your name and stuff, and you're a female pigeon, or you're a female bird, and then all the people that you meet are male birds, and you're just kind of reading this weird, like, high school type story. I liked it. It's
I'll be sure to pass on that.
Yeah, you're probably going to be okay to pass on that. I got something else this week. Oh, I got Life is Strange also. So I'm very looking forward to play that after I do my.
Damn straight you are.
Yeah. So we hit the Patreon goal for everybody doing a back catalog Let's Play. So I'm going to do Gone Home on that, obviously. But I think once we all finish those, I may pop Life is Strange in. I don't know if it'll be for a Let's Play or anything like that, but after I accomplish that task, that's my goal, is to play that game.
You should definitely play Life is Strange.
Yeah, it's
without a doubt.
And for the price, it's it seems
I still
like
think Ryan should play it too. I think Ryan would like it, but
it's on my really long list.
Yeah, I know you've got a lot of shit that you're having to get to.
So there's a lot of things I'd rather play before I play that, I'll tell you that much. And it's not because I don't want to play that, there's just a whole lot that looks more enjoyable to me. I mean, I haven't even unwrapped Farming Simulator yet. That's how behind I am.
That's crazy. That's your number one game all year.
I mean, I don't know if
crying on the inside for that one.
I'll tell you, Stardew is special. It's really good. Everybody should buy Stardew if you're listening. Everybody. Don't even, if you don't like farming or simulation, just give them the money.
I'm not buying it.
Buy it.
No.
Pull the trigger.
No.
I mean, you got nothing to lose.
Sure I do. My money on a game I'm never going to fucking play.
You're going to play it every night.
I'm not. I won't.
You can name your character Shepard.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter to you. Don't act like that doesn't matter to you.
Not in Stardew, it doesn't matter.
Pretend you're on like a planet.
No.
Like Earth. And you're farming.
Earth is that's a good choice of planet. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how sustainable these other things are on other planets.
You can't do hydroponics or terraforming in it. That probably has to be Earth.
I mean, those aren't hallmarks of the series, no. But it's a good time. You can catch pike, chubs, tuna. Caught a squid last night.
That sounds Earth. Sounds very earthy again.
Yeah, it's alternate universe Earth though. Because There's also just a wizard that lives in town, and it's totally acceptable.
Okay, yeah, it is alternative universe.
Right.
Then. I'll give you that. I will give you that. Now, I had a tough time there was a couple nights this week where I couldn't find anything to play. I was going through my library and my catalogs, and I couldn't find anything to play. So I ended up playing the same old shit.
There was one night we tried to play together some Rocket League, and my internet connection decided it wasn't having it.
That was a night. Oh, I did play. I downloaded the first 3 hours of Watch Dogs, and I started to play that because it was free this week. You can play for 3 hours for free, and then you can upgrade to the game. You don't get any trophies or anything, but if you do decide to pay for the game, then it unlocks the trophies that you would have earned in that playthrough. I've only played like the prologue. It's okay. It's I feel like it's going much more of a GTA feel than the first Watch Dogs did, and I have a little bit of a problem with that because there's so much to do and no direction on where to go. Whereas the first Watch Dogs, even though everything they promised wasn't there, it was a little bit more of a linear experience, and it had a little bit more of a story. It was pretty straightforward, so that's what I enjoyed about it. So I'm not sure, I've still got a few hours left or something. I'm probably going to try to get back to it at some point, but right now I feel like it's too much.
I want to try this trial thing, but I just can't right now.
Because you got 25 million things going on.
It's somewhere down there with Life is Strange for things I want to do right now.
Don't you ever rank Watch Dogs 2 with Life is Strange.
Right there beside Mafia.
Oh, I'm going to... 2? Next time I see
3.
you, we're going to have a problem.
How many Mafias are there?
Too many.
3.
Too many.
Mafia. The last one was Mafia 3.
Yeah, it's down there with that.
I heard it was about as good as Mafia 2.
The next game I'm going to play is Flame and Flood.
Yeah, that actually looks really good. You keep talking about that one, and
I do kind of
keep looking at it.
It looks like it is not my kind of game, but it looks good, and I want to try it. But I tell you what, I really want to try is Read Only Memories 2064.
Yep, that's one I put it on my wish list this week.
Me too, but I can't. I don't know. I can't spend $20 on it.
I don't know that it's. I can't. I don't know if it's worth $20 because it's got some pretty mixed reviews. So,
yeah, but it sounds very Snatcher, very and I love Snatcher.
Yep.
Blade Runner-y, that kind of thing. So
Snatcher is the game that I think of whenever I see anything about it. When it was first. When they first teased it way back when, that's the exact game that I thought of, and I love Snatcher. So I would love to play a spiritual successor, kind of a style game. I'm just really scared that like the game's too short or there's not enough, like maybe the story isn't that great. The reviews are mixed, so we'll see. But that's definitely one that's in the wish list for me.
Yeah, I want that one. I do want Flame in the Flood. There's another one called Silvio that I want to play, but I'm a little hesitant to pull the trigger just because of the first-person aspect of it. So,
is it a walking simulator or is it an actual game?
It's kind of a walking simulator. You're trying to figure out what happened. It's a French game. Your protagonist is a French woman. But she's wandering through this park with, she's like a ghost hunter or something. And she's got the EKG thing, picking up. And each little ghost that she tells a story trying to figure out what happened at this amusement park. So it's very, walking simulator-ish with a little bit more to it than just the walking. There was some exploration and things like that, but very basic, very simple game. It looks decent. I enjoy the walking simulators. I don't enjoy the first person ones. Oxenfree was great. Oxenfree is not first person, So,
Yeah, but Gone Home was, and you love that.
Gone Home was, but Gone Home was extremely. It was contained. It was in the house. There was 3 levels in the house. There wasn't a whole lot of wandering or exploration. I mean, there was exploration, but you know what I mean. It's in the house. It wasn't bigger than it needed to be for what it was.
Yeah.
I feel like Silvio would be taking place in a whole amusement park, things like that.
I mean, it could be in the vein of Firewatch, though, which I feel like even though you're in an open area, that's a contained game,
Yeah. It is. It's very, very linear. So I don't know. It's what I'm considering. I just don't know that I need to play. I played Everyone's Gone to the Rapture. I played Firewatch. I played Gone Home. I don't need, Outlast, all those. I don't know that I need another first-person walk around, explore, figure out what happened game. There's a lot of them out there now.
Yeah.
I mean, you must feel a little bit like you need it if you want it.
Well, yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know that I'm willing to pull the trigger on it.
I feel the same way about Handball 16.
$5.
Ooh, I wish I understood handball more because I wish I understood rugby more because rugby looks good.
Get it?
I need to watch
thought about
this
it.
handball video.
Yeah, I want to get the Handball 16.
I kind of want to play Black Tiger, Life of a Black Tiger, too, even though it looks like shit.
God, I can't understand why you want to play that. That is the worst looking game I've ever seen.
Tell me about it now.
With all due respect. The worst looking game I've ever seen on PlayStation Network. It's not the worst looking game I've
ever seen, but it does not look good.
Pause the show. Let's get over to PlayStation Network. You're looking for the Life of Black Tiger. Load the video and give us your real-time reactions to this game.
I just think it sounds interesting.
Don't read the description. This is the worst-looking game I've ever seen.
It's called Life of a Black Tiger?
Yeah. Life of Black Tiger.
Life of Black Tiger. And I mean no disrespect to the lovely people who made this game, but it looks like dog shit.
Except for me. You can disrespect me for wanting to play it. Right?
The preview trailer, right?
You said it doesn't look that bad is what I have beef with.
You want me to watch the preview
trailer? It doesn't
trailer?
look horrible. I don't think it's the worst looking game I've ever seen.
The one on PlayStation Network.
I will say it looks like a PS1 game.
Where you start off following a black tiger in the snow?
You're being really generous if you think that looks like a PS1 game.
Yeah.
So there's art that's done, and you're like, oh, that's cute. That's neat. This isn't that. This is bad.
No.
Why, is he just attacking birds and shit?
What?
I think the story sounds interesting.
Wait till he attacks that crocodile.
Let me tell you exactly what I think this game is. This is a game of somebody who loves tigers so much that they want to be one, and against all of their friends' best advice.
Against all odds, right?
Yeah, what they did was they picked up some kind of video game engine, and they made the best game they could, and they may have even commissioned somebody to help them. For the only reason that they could play it so that they could pretend like they're a tiger all day. And somehow it's made it to the PlayStation Network.
This game is living proof that there's no quality control on PlayStation Network.
Yeah. This game is living proof that we could make a video game. Like, when it kills an animal, it just goes stiff and flies away.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you see him attack the alligator?
Yeah, and he picks it up and eats it.
Yeah. Some stuff he attacks, he's not even close enough to attack it, but it just goes like a board and dies anyways.
Yeah.
The worst looking game I've ever seen, Dan.
Yeah, he's also got a laceration on his side that would kill anything.
A gaping flesh
It's a video game. Come on.
Dude,
Barely.
This isn't a video game. This is embarrassing.
He means it, too, when he says he wants to play. This is not the first time he's brought this up.
No, I do want to play it.
This is the kind of video game that you see.
I do not want to pay that kind of money for it, but I do want to play it.
But that preview trailer, that's the kind of thing that you see on a TV in the background of a television show when they're like, oh, my son's a gamer, and then they pass by the room and you get like a glimpse of what's on the TV. It's shit like that, and then they've got the controller.
Like, that's not even a game. I've never seen that before.
They're holding the controller upside down, and then you just hear this. And they're like, my son plays games all day. And he's playing that fucking game.
Tiger. Yeah.
No, he's not playing that game. That game just came out.
If you get it, though, you're obligated to live stream it.
Dan, let me tell you
Fine.
why nobody should buy that game, because the very next hit on YouTube under the PlayStation post is Life of Black Tiger PS4. Worst PS4 game ever. Like, pretty bad.
It kind of makes me want him to get it more now that other people are saying it, too.
All right, now I'm back to watching this handball.
Because I want to hear Dan try to tell me why it's still okay.
Try to justify it.
Yeah, that's the part I most look forward to. Like, yeah, it looks like shit. It controls like assholes.
But let me tell you.
There's something kind of charming about it.
Now, handball, there might be something, because it looks a lot like jank ball.
Yeah, jank ball, for those that don't know, is 3-on-3 freestyle basketball. Available for free on the PSN. You should be playing it. Exclusive.
I don't know that you should be. If you choose to, it's available. You should play it.
You should be.
If you're debating it, you should get it.
It's free. You got nothing to lose.
That's true.
Download it and try it.
Handball,
I tried it.
for those interested, is
I'm Cindy.
basketball with no consequences or rules on a soccer field.
So
I want rugby. I kind of want rugby. Rugby looks good.
I got that rugby for Xbox One. It was real fucking hard. Maybe because I don't understand the rules, but I still don't know what you do. You just, every time I get it, I just fucking run. Sometimes I run across what I think is the goal line and nothing happens. They tackle me and take it still.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're running with it and somebody just fucking stops and kicks it.
Yeah.
Like there's no, it's fucking chaos. And don't write in and explain it to me. I don't care. It's more fun probably if I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like the mystery. And
What are you
handball,
looking at now, Matt?
he's still trying
You
to
still
decide if he
watching
wants to pop that $5 on handball.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
You should
He
spend the
doesn't.
money on it.
If she's
Don't
got
do it.
if she's got multi-P and we can play it together, then maybe.
I'm not getting it.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm not.
Just get it. Get
No.
that, The Life of Black Tiger. Read Only Memories 20, 40, 60, 80.
2064.
Yeah.
20, 40, 60,
I believe it is.
80.
Get that. Just spend all your money. Just spend all of it. All the money.
I'll think about it. I'll
Yeah.
think about it.
If you had to get one of the three of those, I'd say get The Life of Black Tiger, though.
No. If I was going to get one of those three, I would get Read Only Memories.
Does Life of Black Tiger cost more than the Order 1886 right now?
100%.
I have no doubt in my mind. That's
100%.
correct.
That game's like $14.99.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I'm
We have
looking
to
it
pay
up.
for production costs.
Right.
Artists
I
aren't
don't know.
cheap.
Look it up real quick and see.
I am.
But I think it's $14.99.
It's $9.99 or $14.99.
Yeah, it's one of those.
At $9.99, like,
No. Still
It's
no.
$10 too much.
I would not pay $9.99 for it.
man, you type in
If
life,
I
it's
get
the
it for
first
like
thing that pops.
$2.49 or something, I would probably get it.
Right.
But
Can we get a quick update on this price so we can move forward?
$9.99.
Yeah.
yep. No.
It's more than the Order.
Released January 17th, 2017. I mean, she's brand new.
It's more
Yeah.
than handball.
It just came out.
She is brand
You can buy
new.
handball and rugby for the same price you could buy The Life of the Black Tiger.
The preview on the PlayStation Store is a black screen. It just plays the music.
What's the average rating on that thing?
3. It's got 7 ratings.
Dan, it sounds like a win at a 3. You should probably get
I'm
it.
still not paying $9. You just want me to buy it.
Let
Play
me
it.
let me tell you this feature though. Network players 2 to 20.
Oh man, it's got multiplayer.
Yes, it does.
Huh.
Or does that just mean their servers are set up to allow 20 people total to play the game ever?
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's online multiplayer.
Oh, you can all be The Life of the Black Tiger.
See?
It reminds me of a bad Naughty Bear. And then it was a good idea, but it
Poorly.
just did not work out at all.
Doesn't look like the worst game ever in still frames. It's when you see it move that's how you know it's
Move.
bad.
Yeah.
No, pretty much all of it was how I knew it was bad.
I have no doubt that it looks bad. I still kind of want to play it. I love playing bad games. You guys know that.
Well, I don't know why you haven't popped on this game yet. Because it's for sure bad. I mean, I like games that aren't popular, but I don't just like playing a shit show.
Oh, I do. If it can control great. You never know.
Yeah, I do.
It probably doesn't.
Watch
but
that
it might.
video again. Nothing about that controls great. Sometimes the tiger's just floating in the air. This is a trailer that you've decided to show the entire world to purchase your game, and you couldn't even get that part right.
Here's a quick update. Also, the Flame in the Flood is $11.99 right now.
Yeah, till
Yeah.
the 31st.
It has been since Wednesday.
Yeah, still gonna get it.
Because we were talking about it. We both almost bought it
What?
one night when we were playing a
turned
dumpster
into a
fire of a
Transformer.
game on Rocket League. Who is me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still?
It won't be on the podcast, but in our ears, you were definitely a Transformer. No. If this is your first time joining us, this is the official Gamestitch Podcast, where every week this group of best friends get together and we talk about all the video game and nerdy news that we love. Unfortunately, it's wrapped up in all this other bullshit that you can't avoid.
Life of
But
Black
that's okay.
Tiger.
This podcast posts every Monday at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/GameStitch. Throw us a couple bones. We got some rewards up there. We've got some goals up there. If you don't have any money, that's perfectly fine. This podcast will always be free and available on podcast services around the world. Oh, man. We're like 40 minutes in. This podcast just now starting.
Here's a quick update for everybody following us on social media and everybody that listens to the podcast weekly. We have another live episode coming up. We're going to be doing an episode live and interactive and streaming through Twitch and possibly YouTube. That'll be coming up in February. We will have the announcement on that on Twitter and social media this week, and we will announce it on the podcast next week, along with some of our some plans for that show. So make sure that you're paying attention this week for sure.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah,
Make sure
pay
you're
attention.
following us on the social medias. Make sure you listen to the podcast this week and next week.
They're not going to get that message if they're not
Choose
listening.
life.
Well, that's too bad for them. Hopefully they're following one or the other.
Be weird to follow us on social media and not listen to the podcast, though.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but maybe they follow
That'd
on
be
social
odd.
media and they miss the show. They're the kind of person that dabbles. You know, they don't listen to every show.
Hey, new thing, don't be a dabbler.
Yeah, don't dabble.
You commit to shit.
No
Yeah.
dabs.
Please don't dabble. It just makes me feel bad. Like you don't really
Yeah.
care.
But you like keep me holding on though.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me go.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
Mm-mm.
Let it go.
Yeah, I wanted Dan to start singing, but he didn't.
I know you did. I
So we're a
almost
week.
did. I was like,
It's been a
nope,
week since
nope.
the Switch details came. Don't ruin this, Dan. It's been a week since the Switch details came out. You guys feel any better? Any worse?
I haven't canceled my pre-order yet. So
I don't
there's
know
that.
if that means better or worse,
But the
though.
news is damning. So, I think that's. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth pointing out that if you listened last week and if you've been following us on Twitter, from my perspective, the system is 100% worth the purchase because of the games that are going to come out on it and because of the quality that you get from Nintendo. And I don't think that that's anything that anybody's disputing, but what we've seen this week, and I think we're going to touch on it in the news, is very damning of the system and does not put Nintendo in a good position to even be profitable as a complementary console. I think they put themselves in a very tough spot, a la Microsoft with the Xbox One announcement, and I'm going to be very interested to see what they do between now and March 3rd or between now and E3 to either rectify the situation or to just really solidify that they do not know what they're doing anymore.
So they've cleared up a couple things this week. It's not going to have any streaming services. That means no Netflix, no Hulu, no YouTube. That's a pretty big thing that was cleared up. There is some talk about those apps coming later on through third parties. I think even Microsoft took part in that, saying that they could get them on there. So who really knows what will happen there? But it does seem like it will not launch, and Nintendo will not be putting any efforts towards making that a streaming device. which is a weird thing for something you could take with you that has a bigger screen than your phone. So that's something we know. The Miis are coming back, but it sounds like they're going to be a much smaller part of the puzzle here, and they're not required anymore. So you do have it sounds like you can use the Mii as like your profile picture, but you can also choose from other stuff. It doesn't have to be that. And you can bring your Miis over using Amiibo, which is weird. But apparently that's how you will transfer your old Mii to the Wii, the Switch. The Switchy. What are you shaking your head for, Dan? You don't like Amiibo support?
Amiibos are fine. There's just so much. To me, there's just so much that's going wrong with this console that every announcement they make, I feel better and better about my choice not to pre-order.
Tell me you don't like a Mii.
It doesn't make sense that they have Mii support, but they aren't forcing it.
I think they're trying to get away from a kids console.
Yeah, but
they don't want to totally alienate that.
Either do away with it or don't. Because what's the purpose of Mii's if it's not to be your avatar? Like,
right.
But it is your avatar. I mean, it would be your profile.
Right, but you don't
also,
have
if you
to.
want a picture of a puppy up, you could do that too.
Right. So to me, it doesn't make very much sense as to why the Mii is necessary. Why it should doesn't seem like it's not necessary on PlayStation. It's not necessary on Xbox. Why is it necessary on Nintendo? Unless it's if it's not a part of the system, if it's not something that drives the user experience.
Avatars.
What's that?
Those Xbox avatars. You can still get to those on Xbox too, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
They need to do away with that shit too.
Yeah, agreed.
Why?
Because it doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You do away with that shit, you bring PlayStation Home back.
No,
I think that's the right move.
Yeah, but PlayStation Home served a purpose. So you had an avatar, but it also had a purpose.
My dude had the $5 Fiery Footlong shirt on.
I know. I remember.
That guy. He looked just like me.
I mean,
I hardly ever played Home.
Like, we experienced E3 one year through Home. Like,
I experienced a lot through Home.
Like, that's not that wasn't a bad idea, but if the Mii's don't do anything, I don't know.
You play a lot of Nintendo games with them, and I'm sure you still will.
Yeah, and to me, that's not something that the system sucks. There's no reason to buy it now. It's a very confusing. Just very confusing to think that's
the future
the way they went
of where Nintendo is going is cloudy at this point.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is they haven't. They're talking about phone support, this app for that you need for party chat. They haven't announced when this app's coming out. Am I going to have that at launch? Am I going to have party chat at launch? Do I need to wait for this app? They still have no pricing structure on what their paid online service is going to be.
We're going to get there.
That's where we're going. We're going to talk about what we don't know now. These are the things we do know. Negative Nancy jumped the gun. Can't wait. Wants to shit on the system too hard. He can't wait.
I don't want to shit on the system. I just want Nintendo to do shit right. I want all console makers to do shit right.
That's not true. We know it's not true.
I don't care.
You hate Nintendo. You've always hated Nintendo.
No. So I'll get to that. Matt and I talked about it this week.
Please don't get to it again. I can't have this conversation for the 50th time. Online connectivity, we have a lot of issues here. What's the online service going to cost?
We don't know.
The free monthly games are super strange because it's worded in a way that you do get them, but you only get them for that month.
Yep.
It's worded that way because that's how it works.
So the details around that, if it's a choice, if you can pick between an SES or NES, or if you get one or the other, if they choose for you, there's just a lot of weirdness on how that free game is going to work. Will the online features require the use of an app? It seems to be yes, but they've not come right out and said, hey, to play with a friend, you have to have this. They did say to send friend requests, things like that, you have to use the app, so it certainly seems like a portion of it is going to be required. And that's a weird way to circumvent not having those features on your Switch. I also read they don't like it to be called a tablet.
Yeah.
Well, what would you call it?
It is the Switch. The dock is the dock, the Joy-Con is the controllers, the Switch is the actual tablet.
Don't call it a tablet, though.
Don't cattle a tablet.
Yeah, don't call it a tablet.
Yeah, I don't know how else to describe
Switch.
a tablet.
That actual flat part with the screen, that's the Switch.
You don't
Yeah.
call it anything. It's a Switch, yeah. Also, Joy-Cons cannot be plural.
You can't have two of them?
Wait, it's Joy-Con controllers. But
I don't
it's
think
always
Nintendo
Joy-Con.
gets to tell me how I'm going to label their things. They're gonna
I mean,
they're gonna end up
you
getting
can say
called
it
Switch
wrong
controllers.
if you want.
Nah,
You
they'll
can
just
say
be
it
called
wrong if you want.
Nintendo will call
No,
them
they-
whatever stupid thing. They'll be called Switch controllers by the end of it.
No, they can't because then you can't pass the Joy, which is something we want to do.
Well, they're very interested in making people want to pick up the controller to play the game. So,
You got to pass the Joy.
yeah, direct quote from
Not to be
Nintendo.
confused with Pass the Duchy.
Well, no, I don't think those two were confused.
No,
They were
no.
in my head.
I'm saying direct quote from Nintendo. The
Pass the Joy.
having to pick up the controller to enjoy the game.
I don't think
want
that was a direct quote.
They want to entice players to pick up the controller.
Right. We still don't know what's going on with the Nintendo accounts. They launched the Nintendo account system to unify all of its several social networking interfaces, but it doesn't really do anything.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how it ties in
And
with
that's
everything.
These new accounts, how is that going to work with things you may have purchased before?
Right, so that's the next thing. Will eShop purchases be connected to the Nintendo account? And I assume the answer is no here, only because you'll buy it again, because everyone proves time and time again that they'll buy it again. So I doubt that Nintendo is going to start being nice now, but maybe they'll have some sort of program where you get a discount like they've done in the past if you buy them again, or things like that. Will there be a way to tie in old purchases to the Nintendo account? So those are the two questions: will old purchases roll over? Will new purchases be logged in a way that the next Nintendo platform will let you download them?
I would say no on both counts.
Yeah, probably. But those are still two things we just really don't know. Will there be any kind of trophy/achievement system?
No word.
I think it's something you brag about if you have it.
Yeah. Especially if you haven't had it 2 generations in.
It should just be Mario coins to keep it simple, to put their boy front and center, like they already do it with their mobile stuff, with their platinum coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, treat it
Yeah.
like gamer score, but it's just coins. You just have,
So what's weird is they do such a great job, and I'm not saying their mobile games are good, but they do such a great job with their system of daily goals and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be an exact copy of what they're doing, what Microsoft or Sony's doing. Because what I like about Nintendo is they let you use those coins. It's almost like a Uplay thing. You do these certain things, you earn coins, you can then use those coins on whatever game that you love the most.
Mm-hmm.
So if Matt loves Mario Odyssey, he can get maybe a new color hat for Mario, where if I love Mario Kart the most, I can get a new car for Boo. The things like that you can do, I think, would be the best thing Nintendo could do with this system, because Nintendo's biggest asset are the IPs that they have, and the ability to cross those things over into tug at the heartstrings by doing something retro. And they can unlock those things and let you use your coins. You're going to want to play more games to unlock more coins, and they should do something like that.
I agree with you, tugging on the heartstrings, nostalgia to a point. I agree that everybody loves Mario, everybody loves Zelda, everybody loves Samus. The problem is for a lot of us, that nostalgia harkens back now 25 years, and we've seen so many iterations of this throughout the time that for those of us that we're not so much nostalgic for it anymore, because we've never had it really go away. We still love those properties, but I don't think that Nintendo is really in a place anymore where they can say, here's our new console. We've got Mario, we've got Zelda, we've got Samus, and have it, go all the way, and have that be the reason for their system to be sold. I don't know that nostalgia is enough anymore.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Judging off the fact that you still can't find an NES Classic, I think it is. I think it is still enough, and I think they just have to find ways to use it that aren't so in your face.
Yeah, but let's be really clear. You can't find NES Classic because they're not producing NES Classic.
people still want them though.
Right, but they're not producing them in a volume that there are NES classics to sit on the shelf. They're launching like 3 to a store at a time, and people are buying them because that's all they have. Right. People.
So if you got 3 people that walk into that store and want one,
right?
Well, that's it.
Like I want one too, but if I walk
it's not
into
3 people, it's millions.
Yeah,
so that changes things a little bit.
But the difference is that if I want one and you want one and Dan wants one, and we all walk into a GameStop and GameStop's got 2, it's going to stay sold out, right? But if we walk in and they've got 500, if they've got 100, if they got 50, right, and we all buy 3 of them, they still got 47. So the numbers are skewed because Nintendo forces their through rate by underproducing. It is. They're cooking their own books.
But makes people want it still. Like, that's my thing. People want it, regardless of why you can't get it. People want it.
Right, but people want Madden also. But it would look like people want it more than they do if they underproduced Madden and it stayed sold out. Like the same amount of people that want the Nintendo Classic are the same amount that want it when you can't get one, or the same amount that would get them if you could have one. So.
But what you do is you get so many more people to want it when they can't get it. People who would have never wanted it before.
Well, I don't know
only
if that's
because it's hard to find. Oh yeah, people that have no business having one wanted one this year because it was hard to find for Christmas.
Yeah,
well, I understand that, Ryan, but that has nothing to do with the nostalgia factor. That has nothing to do with the system itself.
Oh, that thing is popular because of nostalgia. That thing will sell a ton when it is available because of nostalgia.
Right, but I don't think
Nintendo hasn't lost anything there. They haven't lost a step in nostalgia.
But again, that nostalgia of the NES Classic is playing off of 20, 25 years ago, what we played then. The Switch lets you buy for that, but that's not what the Switch is going for. The Switch is going for the present, the future. If you're doing that, I don't know that you can bank on nostalgia to take care of selling this console that you developed for the future.
I'm talking about their achievement system. It should be wrapped.
I'm talking in general, though, about all of it.
But I'm not talking about that at all. They shouldn't use it to sell it, but they should use it for their achievement system. If I can get a classic 8-bit Mario to drive my Mario Kart by playing 1-2 Switch, so I'll have enough coins, like that's what Nintendo should do, not a trophy system. They should do a Uplay style system in which you can unlock more Nintendo, because people want more Nintendo.
People do want more Nintendo.
So
I will give you that.
Do I think they can rely on it to sell? No, but there is a huge population of this country who care about Nintendo and where Nintendo came from. And if they can get more of those things, that reward system would keep people playing games that you don't care about even. I mean, I rented Ubisoft games back when Uplay was the big thing just to get coins so I could buy shit for games I did like. And if it would work for Ubisoft that doesn't have a catalog nearly like Nintendo has, it would definitely work for Nintendo, because I don't think a straight-up trophy system would work for them. I think it has to be a redemption system.
Right.
You can still see which ones I got. You can still see that I got all the coins for that game, but then I can also spend those coins on in-game items that you can't get any other way.
Right,
maybe that's the only way to get Little Mac in Mario Kart.
What's really sad, though, is when sometimes we'll toss an idea like this and we'll say, yeah, but PlayStation's already thought of that. Yeah, but Microsoft's already thought of that. And they probably weighed the pros and cons. It didn't. I don't think Nintendo's thought of this exact thing that we're thinking of right now.
But they're doing it on phones. Like, that's the most mind-blowing part, is not only have they thought about it, they're doing it, and it won't carry over to this.
Right. So the fact that they don't have the forethought in their system and how to create longevity, that's still what is so jarring about all of this. Is not that they don't have a reward system, it's that they have a reward system elsewhere and they're not going to put it on their flagship console. It's that they have a way to track what games you've purchased, but they're not going to let you carry them over on their flagship console. Like, it's not that the Nintendo Switch isn't going to be exactly what they advertise it to be. It's that it's not what it should be. It's not what the standard is. They're not meeting the status quo. That's the problem. That's the argument. So
you're obviously talking about the streaming apps, Hulu, Twitch.
Talking about in total,
Netflix.
Like in this particular subject of the achievement system, they have an achievement system that they use on mobile devices. they refuse to carry it over to their biggest console, that's an issue of how they understand the market. And then if you go back to everything else, yeah, they 100% just don't get it still.
To be fair to Nintendo, they really haven't said if they're going to have an achievement system or not, or how it's going to work. So
They
I
haven't
don't
said
know that
any of the stuff we're talking about. Nothing is confirmed in the stuff we're talking
But
about.
the
This is
time
all-
Right.
to have said that was at the conference, right? The time
Right.
to say what your console can and cannot do, and to define what the console is and where you're headed for your console generation, is when you announce the console.
One would
I would say
assume that-
traditionally, yes.
one would
but-
assume they don't have these things if they didn't talk about them, or these things aren't positive if they didn't talk about them.
Right.
But Nintendo is weird.
And that's my point. I was going to say traditionally, yes, but you've got to remember this is Nintendo.
Yeah, they're weird.
But Nintendo doesn't have time to be Nintendo right now. Nintendo doesn't have a
They'll
stake
always
to be
be
Nintendo.
But Nintendo doesn't know that. Nintendo doesn't care about that. They
Oh,
never
I think
have.
they know. I don't think they care. They will
Right.
always be Nintendo.
And that's
they
the
will go out of business being Nintendo and be fine with it before they'll be anything else.
Right, but that's the concern, is people don't want Nintendo to go away. They want Nintendo to be successful and be around.
They want
but
Nintendo to be something that it's never been and not going to be again. Like, that's the thing. I feel like Nintendo was at the right place at the right time. I don't know that they've ever been this thing that people think they are.
Right. Nintendo is the NES and the SNES, and Nintendo will never be anything more than that. But
they
that's
move innovation. I mean, but they do it in their own
do
way.
Do they move
Yeah, they
innovation?
do.
How?
Without the Wii, you don't have the Kinect, you don't have the PlayStation Move, you probably don't have PSVR because it can't work without those controllers.
You would have PSVR because PSVR is piggybacking on the Vive.
It doesn't work
and
without
the
that
Oculus.
system that came out.
Neither the Vive doesn't work on the system that came out on the Wii.
I don't think they do it if they don't have half the technology done already.
PSVR doesn't work on gyros and RF. PSVR works on light recognition from the camera, and
It
gyros
works.
is
It's
it's
the
a
same
different
fucking
system.
lights.
It's a different system.
No, it's not. It works off those lights, just
Right,
like your controllers do. All they did was strap those balls to your head.
The Wii doesn't work on the lights though. So saying that the
But
PSVR
if they didn't develop
is,
their motion controllers to copy the Wii, which they clearly did, then they would not have had that technology ready. And I don't think that they're at a point where they're going to say, "Hey, we're going to do VR,"
No,
because they don't
that's
have a clear route to getting there.
That's a pretty slippery slope fallacy there, because they would have.
No, I can have that opinion. I 100% can have that opinion, and I do have
Right.
that opinion.
But
That
you have
without
to
that, they don't make that.
You have to
I don't
understand
have
how
to understand anything if that's
the-
how I feel.
the equivalency that you're trying to make is false, because you're saying that the PSVR never would have happened without the Wii, and that's not true. The PSVR would have happened, or it
You
could have
can't know that
possibly
any more than
happened.
I can.
Yeah, you
It's
can.
my opinion. No,
It's-
you can't.
You can't make an equivalency between the two when there isn't one.
I can. I can also stop having this conversation.
You just have to understand that you're creating a fallacy that says that one is dependent on the other, and that's not true. The PlayStation VR,
In my opinion, it is true.
but it's not
You don't
true.
get the PlayStation Move stuff without this.
You can't say "in my opinion" and have that be something that's true.
Yeah,
It's
I can,
not.
because this is in your opinion.
No, it's not. I'm not arguing an opinion. I'm saying that you are setting up a logical fallacy that says that one has to.
How much RAM will the Nintendo Switch have? Something else we don't know. The PlayStation 4 has 8 gigs, 16 times more powerful than the PS3. The Wii U had 2 gigs of RAM, which is 20 times more powerful than the Wii, but it just seems like Wii U's probably going to be coming in somewhere around there. Somewhere around the 2 gigs
mark?
that the RAM had. That the,
2 to 3 mark.
Yeah, and I think you see it when you look at the graphics and you look at the power and you look at the way the games run on the Switch. I don't think it needs any more for what it is, but it's obviously a concern that people have. Backwards compatibility. Obviously, it won't take physical media from the Wii U or from 3DS, but there is a lot of speculation that those games will be available digitally. Again, not having the dual screen, it would be something they would have to adjust for, even though most games don't take any advantage of the dual screen. And I'm sure Wii U games will move over in some way, but it seems like they would rather call those deluxe editions and resell them to you, because that's what they're doing with Mario Kart, Splatoon, more or less. Lego City Undercover, it would appear that they're going to port those games over and sell them to you again, versus them actually being backwards compatible. But again, no verification yet. Virtual Console seems like a shoe-in, but nothing that they have acknowledged yet. And with them giving away NES and SNES for free for a month, you have to assume that virtual console will be there.
But is it going to be the classics that we remember?
It'll be just like it is on every other system.
Or is it? But now they're talking about the multiplayer stuff. Some of the stuff didn't have multiplayer. Are they
Super
adding
Nintendo
on? Are they
games,
remastering?
Yeah, it looks like for the ones that are coming free, they will add on online component. I don't know what that means. If it's just leaderboard support,
could just be leaderboards, right?
Right. But the virtual console will be there because they make a fortune off of selling you Mario 3 on everything you own, selling you Zelda on everything you own. And they've successfully done that over and over and over and over. So I don't see them stopping now. That's part of how they supplement their income because they're not selling systems. So, part of why Nintendo can't give you games that you keep forever is because that's how they make part of their money. It's the same reason they don't pack in 1-2 Switches because they need to sell them. And when they only have 5 launch titles, they're going to sell it. Because people are going to... I bought the first Red Steel, for Christ's sake, because I didn't know what else to buy when my Wii came out. So I picked up Red Steel.
How'd that go?
I decided not to get Zelda and to get Red Steel. I didn't just get Red Steel. I passed on Zelda to get Red Steel.
So just because Red Steel was going to use the new technology?
Because I wanted something new. I knew what Zelda would be like. I had a GameCube. I could play Zelda if I wanted. I wanted something new.
And then it was just like setting a toilet bowl on fire, right?
It was like GoldenEye. Only not as good.
And not as fun?
Right. It was not good.
You're right when you say all these things about Nintendo. I guess it's where I'm at now in life. I'm not excited about the games, the lineup they've given me so far. Zelda, yes, but that's about the only one really that I'm excited for. And there's nothing else I can do with this system. I understand it's a home console, but that mobile component, you would think that what Nintendo would want would for that mobile component to be the only thing you have to take with you on the go. But now you're telling me that I have to carry all this other stuff too if I want to watch a movie or listen to music or whatever, stream game, whatever it is you're looking to do while you're sitting on an airplane. You've got to have an extra device besides that. If I'm playing the Nintendo if I'm playing the Nintendo Switch, and I decide I want to watch a movie, it's important. I have to now turn that Nintendo off in order to do so. That should be one thing that any console maker doesn't want you to do, is have to turn that console off, especially when all these other consoles don't have to be turned off because they do offer those things. I just think there's a danger there. That's part of why I am not as excited about the Switch as I originally was. I'm not sure about the online. There's just too many things I'm unsure of, and that Nintendo has stated it's not going to offer, that I cannot recommend this as a launch purchase.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as the news trickles out as we get closer. We're on the back end. These things can't stay hidden much longer, so we're going to find out either way, good or bad, where we are on that. And I think the 2 million units are going to sell out regardless. If everyone loved this Switch presentation, whatever they called it, if everybody loved it, they still were only going to sell 2 million at launch. Because that's how many they have, and they're going to sell 2 million at launch either way. So, what'll be interesting is how quick the next supply comes in and how quickly it goes out. Because we're not going to get any real news off of the first shipment, because those were going to be spoken for either way. But they can't hide behind it very long.
No, they cannot.
2016, NPD has released the top-selling games for all of 2016, and there's a couple shockers on here. A couple
for the games
that didn't come out in 2016 on this list, which is odd. Let's start at number 10, Final Fantasy 15. pretty impressive considering it only had December.
Right.
Keep in mind this does include digital and physical, with the exception of Overwatch. This does not have Battle.net sales included. Number 9, FIFA 17. Number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. There's a 2015 game.
Mm-hmm.
It did come out on the tail end, but still. Overwatch. Again, that game would be higher if it had Battle.net sales. Grand Theft Auto 5, again, a 2015 game. Madden NFL 2017. NBA 2K17. Number 3, The Division. Number 2, Battlefield 1. And number 1, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, even with its lackluster sales, takes the top spot. Yeah.
I would have thought for sure Battlefield would have beat out Call of Duty. There just seemed to be a lot more excitement about Battlefield.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you look at the YouTube videos of millions of yeses versus millions of no's on the Call of Duty, it's still sold more.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what people say, they still buy it. And even if they bought it to have Modern Warfare, they still bought it. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People are going to buy it.
I believe that's probably a lot of the reason it took the number 1 spot and not the number 2 or 3, was because of Modern Warfare.
It's crazy to see Black Ops 3 still on the list, though.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if a lot of people played it to prep for
Or
Infinite
if it just
Warfare.
got really cheap. But, of course, that means they have to sell even more of them to make this list.
So, I'm just wondering, because that's the one that came out before Infinite Warfare, I believe, right? So, maybe the refresher?
I don't know.
For multiplayer?
I don't know. And we're not going to run through December sales, but if you wonder about the success of The Last Guardian, it did not even make top 20 for PlayStation sales for the month of December. So that game is probably... it probably was never going to recoup its money. It's probably even further away from that at this point.
Right.
That game has... I mean, Sony needed to put it out when they didn't cancel it to start with, so I'm glad they made good on that, but that game is going to be a huge loss for them. So we'll see what happens there. It appears there are suggestions floating around that Xbox One has now sold 26 million units. The information came from a third-party report, Superdata. We've talked about their info before. It's not accurate because it's not coming from Microsoft, but they seem to be pretty close in the past. But whatever the case, the PS4 current sales are just shy of 55 million at this point. So a pretty huge difference in the amount of sales when you're looking at Xbox versus PlayStation. But remember, these are both successful. They're both trending above where they were last generation. Sony just continuing its dominance.
It just annihilates everybody in its path.
Which, again... You know, I don't know if the justification is there for why, but I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah. I mean, consoles are being sold. That's great.
It's got to be a weird thing for Microsoft, though, to be successful and want to be happy about that, but to just be totally being dominated. It's like we're great. We're outselling the 360, but at the same time, we're getting just hand over fist beat by Sony. And maybe the Scorpio's the answer. You know, I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know if they care. You know, they could be totally happy with where they are.
Right.
You know, the PlayStation 3, it took them the entire cycle to catch up.
And these days, I think it's more important for these companies to beat their projections than it is to beat another company. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously they want to be first, but the key is to make the money that they were supposed to exceed, making the money they were supposed to make on this. I think that's really the number one end goal, to keep your shareholders happy and your stockholders. If you happen to be the number one console and kick the shit out of everybody else, hey, added bonus. Right. The important thing is you're bringing in your money so you can continue to do what you do.
And I'm sure when they sit down, when they have a timeline of where they want to be in 6 months, a year, 18 months, you know, I'm sure they look at those things. But it's just got to be weird to be probably trending above that number, but to be so significantly lower than your, if you want to call it competition.
Right.
It's probably just a weird feeling over at Microsoft. Because there's, you know, that's nothing to sneeze at if you ship 26 million, but if you could be at 54 million, like,
right.
Something's off, even though it's not. So it's probably a unique situation to be in because they want to celebrate the success, but obviously they're leaving some on the table. Or they're at least giving Sony a huge piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. But, it would appear that the Scorpio is going to be a pretty significant step up.
From what it seems, yeah.
But how they handle it, if they mishandle it the way that the PlayStation Pro did, it'll be even more significant for Microsoft, I think, because Sony didn't necessarily need the sales of the Pro.
Right, and Microsoft does.
If they want to close the gap. If it doesn't matter to them, then,
Then they don't have to.
Right, it's whatever, but...
Yeah, but I got to believe that despite what I said about shareholders, of course they want to close the gap. Of course they want to be number one. If they're meeting their projections and they're happy with the money they're making, there's no reason not to shoot for the stars.
Right.
Which means come out big with and handle the Scorpio right.
Right. I agree. It's not really a story as much as it's something just to get Dan excited. Mass Effect Andromeda lets you craft your own weapons and name them.
And I can't wait.
What's the first thing you're going to name?
I don't even know.
You don't have one picked out and ready?
I don't even know. Maybe a hammer.
The hammer or just hammer?
No, just if I get a hammer for a melee weapon.
Oh. You're going to name it the hammer?
No, I'll name it, I don't know. What else? I haven't even thought about it, really.
You're so excited about this feature and you have no plan.
I'll probably call it something like Reamer's Vengeance or something.
Okay. Not like Sledge. Like, you want to give it like a real name.
No. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Anytime I can name those weapons, I do.
Is your name going to be in all the names?
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Not always. Because, like, I had a couple guns that I had when I was in Fallout 4, because you could name guns there.
Yeah.
I called one Love and one Hate.
Oh, always use Justice in Fallout 4.
Oh, Justice?
Justice, yeah. Which I think was just the name of it. But it's a good name for a weapon that you're about to hand out some justice with. So
yeah, like I had the flamethrower. I called it Rain of Fire, RAIGN.
Right.
I'll call anything fucking whatever.
You just like making it your own.
I do. I like Vengeance. Vengeance I'd like to use a lot.
The last story is...
I don't know what that says about me. Apparently I'm very vengeful.
And you're into yourself because it'll have your name in there somewhere. The last story, this kind of is taken over the internet by storm, and I don't know if it should or shouldn't, but it would appear that Gabe Newell is worth upwards to $4 billion.
Yeah,
which
big
is
deal.
Not shocking considering he's getting a piece of the pie from everything you buy off of Steam. Big money. That's
good for him.
That's that Notch money. It's that Minecraft money.
It's that Minecraft money.
Yeah, that's when you think about people in entertainment, is people always talk about Seinfeld being like the king of TV. I mean, he's worth like $800 million.
Right.
For a little perspective, like $4 billion.
$4 billion.
That's the kind of money where you don't have to get up in the morning if you don't choose to.
Is it just me, or does Gabe Newell look like a fat pigeon?
Sorta.
He looks like a fat pigeon to me.
That's what I'd look like if I was worth $4 billion, too. Look at Notch. He's not exactly a guy taking care of himself.
True. That's very true.
You don't have to. You could pay people
to
tell you.
With that kind of money, you can at least pay somebody to make you look decent.
You don't have to.
This guy's walking around in his big, oversized Hawaiian fucking polos and shit.
You don't have to.
Goofy bastards.
You don't have to do those things. You don't have to. You don't have the pressure anymore. You can just be you.
You should want to, just to be a decent human being, so you don't smell everywhere you go.
I want to smell more the more I'm worth. Because I want the conversation to be like, man, that guy stinks, but he's worth so much money. Like, I want to see people force themselves to be around me. Because they still would.
I would not.
People still would, though.
I would be next to you. I'd be like, dude, you fucking reek. Take a fucking shower, you rich son of a bitch. You got all this money, you can't fucking afford soap.
People would still force themselves to be around you.
And I go on TV and tell people, by the way, Ryan Walton, yeah, worth $4 billion, yeah, doesn't fucking shower, smells like ass everywhere he goes.
And people would still be like, I'm going to kick it with that guy if I can maybe just get close to that $4 billion.
You're right, but I would be sure to let people know that you are a raunchy motherfucker.
Look, fat pigeon or not, people would line up to spend any amount of time with him. Not just because of his money, but his money certainly helps.
Because he's a pretty smart guy.
Yeah, he's super intelligent. I mean, look what he's done. Yeah. Without Steam, I don't know that the PC market even exists anymore.
True.
And not only does it exist, it's alive and well.
And thriving.
Yeah. That community is pretty awesome. Again, they suffer from so many games that it's hard to find the good ones, which is a good problem to have. Obviously not one the Switch is going to have, but it's one that the App Store has. It's one that Google Play has. It's one that Steam has. It's one that PS4 and Xbox One are very close to having. So what he's done for that industry is probably worth him having $4 billion.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
But the internet is blowing up about this. I don't know why people...
Apparently. Yeah, I don't know why it surprises people. I mean, what did you think?
I guess because, if you asked me last week what he was worth, I probably would have said, $300 million.
Yeah, it
which
turns out
I think is a lot of money.
Turns out you were way off.
Yeah, it's I wasn't even in the ballpark of what he's valued at, so...
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. It's just... I think you just don't think about it being that much. I mean, he could have bought Star Wars. That's how much money he has. Which is crazy. But, and then I think what may be more impressive is when you look at Notch, who did that with one game.
Yeah.
When you look at Steam, and even when you hear that number, you're like, yeah, but Steam is amazing. Minecraft is still just Minecraft, and he got $4 billion for it.
Yeah, old Notch did all right.
Yeah. And then Activision paid more for Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Than any of these things we're talking about.
Right. Which is, I don't get it. Oh, well, I don't have to get it, I suppose.
They say that's one of the reasons they're able to make money each year is because of their purchase of King.
Really?
Yeah, so that people are still crushing the shit out of that candy, I guess. People I work with still play that game.
Yeah, King. Yeah, I know that. King does other things too, but Candy Crush is the big one.
Really
all the rest of them are really just Candy Crush knockoffs. But
they do Farm Saga. What's that called? Farm Hero Saga.
Like yeah, something like that.
They do the Soda Pop Saga too, or something. But they're all just Candy Crush.
Yeah, they're all just Candy Crush. You all right?
I don't know. It's bizarre. It's a weird time we live in. But I love that people can make this much, making games and providing a service to people.
Some people.
Yeah, some people.
We're not like the creators of Life of Black Tiger. Maybe not.
I guarantee you that game appealed to somebody.
Well, it appeals to me.
Yeah, but you didn't buy it, so that doesn't matter to them.
True, I did not. Somebody did. At least 7 people had 7 ratings.
Well, you got to figure 2 of them worked on the game.
Oh, okay.
Parents probably bought it.
Okay. Maybe it's just a whole family thing. It's fine.
I could right now put a game up and sell 3 copies of it.
Oh yeah, I could too. Oh yeah.
I can't guarantee more than that, but I could sell 3 copies of it. If you want to follow us on the social medias, we are at Game_Stitch. I am at Podcast Ryan. Dan is at Shirtless Dan. Matt is at Goddammit Matt. And we have started the process. Now, don't get excited. We're trying to secure at Gamestitch on Twitter. If you were this person and you have this, you need to fucking let it go. You need to stop being a douche. It'd be weird that you listen to this podcast and you had our Twitter handle. But if you for some reason did, Matt has started the process to try to get that back. So you probably won't get good news, but just know that we are trying, because I know at Game_Stitch can be a little hard to remember.
If it sits for so long and we don't get a response and it goes undisputed with Twitter, I think we have a pretty good case to get it. Twitter's rules are that if it sits inactive for a certain amount of time without posting a tweet or without doing such, you have grounds to obtain it. Plus, they're using our .com URL as their business URL, and they're not allowed to do that. So, if you listen to this podcast and if you follow us on social media and you you want to help us out, all you have to do is go to @Gamestitch and report it as a fraudulent identity for the use of Gamestitch and for the use of Gamestitch.com as their business URL. And the more people that report it, the better chance we have. So help us out for sure.
Yeah, we're trying to make that easier for you guys. I don't think that account's been used since like 2014 or something.
It's been a while.
2011.
2011, even worse.
Is it that long? Holy shit.
Yeah. The Facebook @Gamestitch hasn't been used since 2014. It's harder to get a Facebook changed, but if you could go report the Facebook one also, so we'll try to get facebook.com/Gamestitch instead of
trying to clean it up,
Gamestitch.
make it easier for you guys to get to us.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit, though.
Yeah. And like I said, expect bad news with that, but just know that that's something we're trying to make it easier.
If they get 100 reports on this one account not being active and using a fraudulent ID, that's better than them getting just the one. So I mean, especially
and I think
if
at the
they don't
very
have
least,
any.
we should get them to take our URL down. So
Yeah, and if they don't have any
Right.
pushback from the person who owns it, then there's no reason why they couldn't. At best, they ban the account on Facebook and they take the URL down now. The URL out on Twitch. And
before you
Twitter.
think we're just douchebags, we did try to contact them first.
Yeah.
But
I prefer us to be douchebags.
yeah, but I mean, you don't want to just be that guy that like narcs.
Hey, bitch.
Yeah,
what the fuck's wrong with you?
We
Pay
tried
attention.
to be cordial and say, hey, if you're not using this, or if you are using this, can you please take our site off of your page? But we
And there it sits.
Yeah, we got no response. Which, I mean, they probably don't use it. It's probably not personal.
All right. So, in the infamous words of Dalton, the best bouncer in the universe, you be nice until it's time to not be nice.
It took a long way to get there.
Because I watched Roadhouse last night.
Oh, is that what it is? It's fresh on the brain.
Yeah,
It holds up, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
We should have news, like Matt said, we should have news about the back catalog stuff. We should have news about the live show. Just make sure you're following us at @game_stitch so you can get all this.
It's coming.
And again, we'll talk about it next week on the show too, but tell your friends, tell your uncles, tell your aunts, tell your brothers, tell your sisters.
It's coming.
And I don't know why that keeps happening. Now it sounds like you hit your head on a tin can.
I did. That's why.
That's what it sounds like.
I pulled the Blutarski.
Now, do you take your
Animal
money?
House.
Do you put your money in a coffee can and bury it in the ground?
Do I?
Yeah.
I do not.
Is there a party that wants to do that?
No, why? Why would I want to?
I don't know. I just think you look cool in your backyard digging up coffee cans full of money.
Would you watch Stand By Me?
No, I
The
watch
other night or
anything. I
what?
just feel like it's always something I've wanted to do.
Why?
I think it looks cool.
I don't know that it looks cool. I don't like a bunch of mounds in my yard.
Well, you're doing it wrong. You don't mound it up. You dig down.
Well, yeah, but it's always going to be that new spot where you put down new dirt.
How much money you got?
And not enough that I need to bury it in a fucking yard.
You shouldn't have that many mounds is what I'm saying. You only do it when the coffee can's like full, rolled up hundreds.
I don't want to do it.
Plus, if you have a neighbor and they could see you out there digging it up, I think that looks even better.
I think that's just a ridiculous. You should. Why don't you just do?
Like I live in a
just let you-
subdivision. I hope
you
that
can
my
handle that
neighbor
side of
sees
it.
me digging it up, pulling the money out, and leaving the can laying there.
Go for it.
It's kind of like having
Do
a
it.
burner phone.
I'm not going to do that.
I want a burner phone also. I think I want to be a spy.
You would be horrible at it. You would suck so bad at it.
You don't know that.
You would not be a good spy.
I think I'd be a fine spy.
No, I don't think you would be.
Based off of what?
Just you. Just based off of knowing you mostly.
I don't understand why I couldn't be a good spy.
Well, no, because no one ever understands why they couldn't be a good spy.
I'm having a lot more trouble with this one.
Because you don't have that chameleonic aspect to you.
It's
You
'cause of the
can't
beard.
blend in anywhere. People immediately notice
It's
you.
because of the beard. The beard would have to go.
The beard, you're larger.
You call me fat?
No,
Fat people blend in.
You're larger.
Especially in, like, the South, which I'm allowed to say because I'm here. I blend right in.
I'm just saying that You're too noticeable. You don't have that blend anywhere.
I could be a spy in the
Look
South.
about you. I don't even think that's a thing.
Yeah, because they're so good at it, you don't even know. They're everywhere.
I don't know why you need spies in the South.
Mostly college football, to be honest. That's mostly what it's used for.
Maybe some college basketball.
Yeah, sometimes.
But yeah, mostly college football.
Yeah, it's mostly so I can creep around Alabama and see what's up. Thanks for joining us. This has been episode 210 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I think we did away with the segment that we always end the show with.
We did.
We might have also done away with the other segments because we just haven't done those in a while.
Right. I don't know that we did away with them as far as... We've gone really long lately, so we've kind of omitted them.
Long and strong.
Long and strong.
Yeah, so we'll be back next week, same time, same place, with a podcast that should be sort of similar to this one.
Probably not any major changes.
Hopefully it won't be very switchy.
Switch-tastic?
But unfortunately, there's no other news out there, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, Nintendo's dominating the news, which is great because they've...
Free publicity.
Yep.
I gotta get my hands on it, see if it's really as bad as these people say it is. Because that's how you prove a point, by still buying it.
Uh-huh.
I hope
If
you
there's
get
one
one.
available.
I hope you get one, Dan.
I'm not.
I hope this whole time you're negative, and then me and Dan or me and Matt are like, we got ours, and you're like, yeah, I fucking got one too.
I'm not.
And then we all play 1-2 switch together, staring into each other's eyes.
There'll never
not
be a day
getting it.
where I buy that game.
If I had it, though, we could lock eyes. 100%.
I'm not getting it. So
I really want you to bring your Switch over. Like, I want to try it together like that. Like where we LAN, connect them, we put them in a semicircle.
Oh, buy two.
I don't have two money. Also, they're sold out because of their popularity. Because of their launch lineup.
I don't know that it's the popularity.
The launch lineup is why they're sold out.
Uh-huh.
Just people are looking forward to Just Dance. Also, I didn't mention this earlier, but I have heard that Bomberman did not play very well at the review event. Super upsetting for me. Also, I don't understand how Bomberman doesn't run well.
Doesn't play well.
The game has played well for fucking 25 years. So that's concerning. But I still want that game. Also not sure if it's retail or physical. We're about to go watch some playoff football, minus all the teams that we love.
Yep.
But the Patriots are still in. America's team.
Yep, it's going to be a tough day here. Ricky's she's from Pittsburgh, so she's a Steelers fan, but we're also Pats fans, so it's going to be an interesting game.
Is it though?
I think it's obvious who's going to win.
Yeah.
But I think she's going to have mixed feelings.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you like a couple different teams. I don't do that because I don't know that I don't think my heart can handle it. I like just being disappointed in one. If I had to like fall twice, I don't think I would like it. And we're usually pretty good about getting the disappointment out of the way right up front.
True. I mean, usually it's
we slide right into it, right? So that
yeah.
I'm not like, oh man.
No, usually you guys lean right into disappointment.
Yeah,
right into failure.
Like Green Bay was like, oh my god, we lost. I'm like, oh my god, we won. So it's way different. It's a way different. Your highs are highs, but your lows aren't so bad because you're really used to them. So,
the pessimist team.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a Green Bay New England matchup for the Super Bowl.
Probably.
Packers wouldn't want to play them. I don't know. Atlanta looks good too. Matt Ryan's
could be
on
surprises, but if you're playing the odds, your call's probably correct.
I would love to just NFL to get totally fucked over and it being Atlanta and Steelers.
That's so weird.
That'd be great. But it probably won't happen. This has been episode 210. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we couldn't do this show without you. Or we could, but it would be weird.
Odd.
Yeah.
Audience of 3.
That's all I got. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Go Pats.